Pressure. It builds up, forcing the hero into action, prompting him or her to do something out of the ordinary. But what happens when the hero refuses the call and circumstances dictate that he or she must act? What happens when they feel like they have no choice? I'm your host, Garrett K. Jones, and this month for Creators Corner, we are beginning the second act of the hero's journey by crossing the threshold. Hey, happy Saturday and welcome to my channel. If you're new, glad to have you, and if you're a returning viewer, glad to have you back. You can become a channel supporter through Patreon and the merch store. Both are featured down in the video description. I'll talk more about those options towards the end of the video. Of course, the fastest, easiest, and least expensive way for you to support what we do here is by becoming a subscriber. So, click that subscribe button and make sure to smash that like button. For those of you new to the channel, you can get caught up on every segment based on the playlist in which it's featured, from the top 10 countdowns, author awareness, creators corner, and forming fantasy playlists. You can also find special playlists for the segments where I covered specific topics, like the series I did on editing or character development. So I celebrated my birthday on Sunday. That's right, I hit the big 4-0.
Why, God, why? We had a deal. Let the others grow old, not me.
Yeah, I'm not totally sold on it either. I finally hit the point where I have to be careful when I sneeze because I might pull my back or bust a hip doing it. But it's not all bad, I guess. But it was a great opportunity to sleep in, treat myself, and spend the day with my son. And that's always going to be a bonus. My coworker surprised me on Monday morning on the 14th, and that was a pretty wonderful fun for me. But if you'd like to help me celebrate, please do so by picking up copies of my books, The Archives of a Sync Ran. All links to Amazon are down in the video description.
Before going any further with the video, be sure to subscribe and click the bell icon for notifications on new videos. You can select notifications for all videos, or you can select notifications based on your preferences. If you're watching on your phone, be sure to update those settings inside the app itself to get the most out of your viewing experience.
So here we go. We are leaving Act 1 behind. The departure is done, the train is leaving the station, and we as readers, writers, and everything in between are heading into Act 2. The last act was called the departure. This one is called the initiation. This is the longest act of the hero's journey where the bulk of the plot points and character development take place. This is probably going to be a mixed bag of sections that either feel easy to write or incredibly difficult. Sometimes it's easy to get hung up on Act 2 because as writers we may get bogged down in other side plots and plot points that can get us twisted around in our own writing. Act 2 begins with this month's step in the hero's journey, crossing the threshold. This is the point in the story when the hero leaves their ordinary world and enters the special world for the first time, daringly stepping into the adventure proper. Crossing the threshold is the door the hero must pass through in order for the real story to begin. It almost feels like an inevitability, but it actually represents a choice the hero consciously makes. According to Robert McKee, true character is revealed in the choices a human being makes under pressure. This statement comes from McKee's book Story, where he breaks down the substance, structure, style, and principles of screenwriting. In your story, your character is going to be forced to make choices, many of them while under various forms of pressure. The more pressure, the fewer the choices, the greater the likelihood is that your character is going to make the one decision that they feel is the only one available to them. Now, going back to our Star Wars reference, Luke's threshold moment is when Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru are killed by the Empire. R2-D2 forces a decision out of Luke to chase the droid or lie to Uncle Owen. So he searches for the droid, which gets him attacked by the Tusken Raiders and rescued by Kenobi. But then they come across the Jawas, who sold the droids to Luke's family. Again, Luke makes a startling realization that his aunt and uncle were in danger, and he has yet another decision. He can stay with Kenobi, or he can check on his family. And that's where he makes the discovery and the decision to travel with Kenobi and become a Jedi. He explains there's nothing left for him on Tatooine, but there's still a farm to run and a life to live. There is an alternative, but in his mind, the decision is already made for him. When you're developing that threshold, make it feel like the character has no other option but to do the thing the story requires of them. Don't make it an easy choice either. Luke's decision isn't an easy one to make. If he made the choice early on when Kenobi invites him to learn the Jedi way, he'd be giving up the comfortable and ordinary far too easily. Instead, he bargains, and he offers to help Kenobi by taking him to Mos Eisley, which is what he ends up doing before they encounter the decimated Jawas. Kenobi's wisdom when Luke returns from finding his dead family is telling about the kind of thoughts ringing in Skywalker's brain. Luke wondered if he could have made a difference if he had been there. In all honesty, he wouldn't have been able to because he didn't have the tools or the experience, and the Empire had guns. That feeling of failure becomes a driving force in Luke's character arc. It becomes a reinforced memory when he watches Kenobi die, and it fuels his choice to officially join the rebellion to keep what happened to him from happening to someone else. The threshold the hero crosses should be something that not only pushes the character outside of their comfort zone, it drives the character into the crux of their mission and their adventure. It also ramps up the stakes. Sure, choosing to follow Obi-Wan on his damned fool crusade prompts him to learn more about the Jedi. It also puts him on a collision course with a Sith-run empire that wants the Jedi dead and didn't know that Luke or any other Skywalker existed until that point. So, here are some tips for making your threshold stand out to your reader. 1. Remember the threshold is a boundary between the old familiar and the new discomfort. Most of the time, it's a physical representation like a river or a lake or a mountain range, or, in the case of Star Wars, leaving your home planet to travel across the stars like going on a cross-country road trip. Second, guard the threshold. The threshold should be the opportunity for the hero to encounter the antagonistic forces threatening everything he or she hopes to accomplish. In this case, Luke is seeing just how close to death he was when his family bought the droids from the Jawas. This becomes even more apparent as more stormtroopers fill Mos Eisley and try to detain the Millennium Falcon's departure. Third, make sure that your character is leaving home and that they're strong enough to survive on their own for at least a short time. This needs to push them beyond their comfort zone within reason. It can't be too impossible, but never too easy to succeed. Mistakes are going to happen. Perfect characters are boring. So allow your hero to screw up. As cliche as it sounds, it's more insightful to fail than to succeed, to a point. Know what your character wants, but don't let them have it right away. Belonging makes it more important for the hero. Finally, treat the crossing as an opportunity for the hero to right a wrong. For Luke, that's avenging his family, avenging Kenobi, and making sure, as I said before, that the Empire couldn't hurt anyone else like they had hurt him. Hey, thanks for watching. Please hit like and subscribe. If you'd like to support this channel, you can do so on Patreon through one of 3 affordable support plans. Patrons get access to blooper reels, behind-the-scenes videos, and much more. You can also buy sweet merch from my store on Teespring, which you can then turn around and rep on Instagram and Twitter by tagging me at GKJ_publishing and using the hashtag 5kingdomsmerch. Or you can sign up for the free poster giveaway. All links are down in the video description, and I'll announce a winner for the poster when I hit 200 YouTube subscribers. I'll see you guys back here next week for the February live stream.
The vlog of the 5 Kingdoms is filmed without the use of a live audience at Skyrocket Studios in Hanford, California. We can't do what we do without your help, so please make sure to subscribe by clicking the button that's above my head, and make sure to watch and share the videos over here to my left. Have a great week.